Howdy, it's race Sunday. We are in Singapore, and this is the RumblenBreaks card. Not too bad, 215 points. I saw Ferrari and Red Bull. Let's get talking about it. Actually, first of all, I'm going to show you one of my other cards. All right, and through the magic of computers and pausing the button, here is the actual card that I decided to play on, which is in a more competitive league. Very last minute, like this. Literally, I did it in the last 2 minutes of the before qualifying, and I swapped out Max Verstappen, the Red Bull card for the Ferrari, and yeah, you got more points. So let's see what happened. Let's talk about what happened. All right, very last minute, I decided to make a change.
Much to my annoyance.
Yeah, much to Dr. F1's annoyance.
Dr. F1 was thinking about doing the switch out, did not pull the trigger. Although, in fairness, I wasn't going to drop Red Bull. I was thinking about dropping Verstappen.
Yeah, I think
shocking.
I made the change while you went to get your morning tea.
Yeah. So tea latte. Yes, let's be careful.
So your tea latte. But yes, I decided to make this change. Very last minute, and for the longest time I was cussing that I should have had George Russell, and what happened, we'll talk about that later in this race. But let's first,
why don't we just let's start opening packs while we talk through. A little bit different this week before we show
who actually won.
Yeah, and maybe as we open packs, we'll comment a little bit.
Yeah,
too.
so let's talk about qualifying or even the practices. It was
okay. So Singapore is notorious. Those of you don't know, it's a tough street track. It's a legit street track, not like a pretend one where it's like Australia or something where it's inside a park. It's a real street track. They switched up this year. They changed some corners where there's lots of safety cars normally, well, that's appropriate. But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that after.
Let's put that aside.
See if it's numbered. Nope, not numbered, but yes.
Yes, Mr. Bottas. Yeah, so, he did not have a great race. He had a race to forget.
Yeah.
He did not finish the race. He went out.
Yeah, so let's talk qualifying.
Yeah, so quickly qualifying. We had, some practices, street race, and... it's notorious for top teams not doing well. So all through practice, looked like Red Bull was not in good shape, and they kept trying to change the car up. And unfortunately, it was a change too far, and qualifying happened, and they both went out in Q2.
Yeah.
So.
Q3 it was, or whatever, the first round of qualifying, friggin' Stroll crashes out, and
that's true. Stroll crashed in Q1. Stroll did not race, by the way. For those of you who are Lance Stroll fans, if there's any out there, he didn't even start the race. So down one whole driver, so 19 cars in the race.
Yeah, I mean, he took out basically took out Piastri. I think Piastri felt that he would have actually made it into the next round.
That's right. He crashed right in front of Stroll. Stroll crashed right in front of Piastri, right almost on the finish line, and the track was evolving. So yeah, Piastri would have made it through. Took him out. It's okay though. Piastri had a great race. He ended up working his way up the pack.
Yeah, finished in seventh.
Seventh, yeah. So he did really well, Mr.
Unbelievable.
Vettel. By the way, if you like Vettel, he had a great interview with Martin Brundle recently. So you can find that on
he's
all those different social media.
He's a little social itch, and he wants to go. I know it wasn't the rumblings that
There's rumblings he might come out of retirement.
He might be coming out of retirement, so it'll be really interesting to see.
I think they should put him with Alonso, and Stroll can be benched. But anyways, so I think the biggest news other than that in qualifying is the not that goat. Let's call him the new goat, because that goat was a goat for a different reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was Liam Lawson for a second.
No, but Liam Lawson, amazing, absolutely amazing. He is earning his keep at AlphaTauri, and he's going to be interesting. I mean, top 10 in qualifying. So, he out-qualified Yuki Tsunoda. And he got points.
And he got points. Like Yuki and Daniel are
in trouble.
In a little bit of trouble there.
Speaking of Yuki started the race but didn't make it through lap 1.
Yeah. He it wasn't
Thanks
really
to
his
this
fault.
guy.
Thanks to this guy. Perez was just all over the map. Perez was the wrecking ball this race.
But in subtle ways, he just kept having little tangles and touching. So he took Yuki out in lap 1. He was not number 1 this week.
Nope.
And he took he took Albon out. Albon should have been the points at the end of the race. So
yeah, I thought he was going to get penalty. I thought there were going to be penalties at the end issue
So as we've already alluded to, we haven't told you who's won, but the two people who didn't were Perez and Verstappen. Verstappen made it up to 7th in the race, but
yeah, it was like the first little while of the race was really boring.
After Tsunoda went on lap 1 and you're like, ooh, excitement, then you're like, boring.
Boring. I mean, like the Red Bulls were, again in the mid pack this race. So it was.
McLarens were fast, as we said. Piastri.
Yeah.
Norris started from up in. He started 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
I think it was like 4th. Yeah.
4th, and he was fast.
He was fast. Good. Yeah.
And Piastri moved up, so I think that McLaren is here to stay.
This race was really about tire management, and it was really weird and like the first part of the race were okay. It wasn't the greatest. Like there was surprisingly all the cars were tight. Like
the race was really bunched up because Red Bulls weren't sprinting away in the front. Sainz, by the way, started on pole, for those of you who don't know. And it was tight. They were all close together. But yeah, then it was boring for like 22, 23 laps, something like that.
And then Logan Sargent bins it into the wall, kind of bins into the wall a little bit. He
overbraked into a tight corner, and he then had a garbage sale, or yard sale, you say. Drove his car all the way back to the pit, leaving carbon fiber. So virtual safety car, and Liam Lawson.
There you go.
There you go. He should keep his seat. That's my opinion. I don't know. Who would you out there?
If you had the choice of the three drivers of AlphaTauri, who would you pick? Would you pick, Liam, or actually, you'd probably pick Liam Lawson. I think he's actually doing really well. I think he deserves the seat.
So is it Ricardo or Yuki you keep?
Yeah, exactly.
Personally, I'd keep Ricardo because he brings you the money and the name. I don't know. Yuki's had a long time, and he's...
I like Yuki, so
I
was going to put them in his number 1 slot, but no. No. But yeah, so let's continue. So what happens at that point? Like after Sargent, he brings his car back. And
full safety car.
And full safety car comes up because they gotta clean up the track, and it's weird because the Red Bulls didn't come in.
The Red Bulls had hards, and it was too early for them to switch off the hards. It was supposed to be a one-stop race. Everyone else on mediums or softs. They all go in the pits. They're all changing it out. But it didn't work out because Carlos Sainz got out back in front of Verstappen. And then Verstappen and Perez were just sitting ducks on their hards. They got hunted down.
Every car passed them, like
easily passed them.
I think the whole thing with Verstappen was that if he could have got out in front of Sainz, he would have been trying. I think the strategy was that they would try to leave the dust, but like the car was they mangled the car a little bit.
And then when they finally did come in to change the tires off the hards to mediums at like lap 42 or something like that, like two laps after that, there's a virtual safety car
because
Ocon's car decided it didn't like itself anymore.
Yeah, he hit a bump and basically took himself out. Or something. Like I guess they said it was something with the clutch that actually
he hit a bump and he broke something. But I mean, it was pretty bad. But yeah, so what happened before we open the really awesome packs? Let's pause for a minute and talk about the sort of grand finale. So if you haven't seen the race,
check out at least the last 20 laps.
Like 15.
Okay, check out the last 15 laps because it was insane.
It was a masterclass in race strategy from just like driver. First of all, the Mercedes had an extra set of mediums. They all knew it. They were all trying to prevent the Mercedes from getting the mediums.
They actually changed, because of the Ocon incident, they were able to change.
They came in.
They were the only two cars that came in and changed out the tires.
So they that's the thing that nobody else wanted. They went in, they changed tires, they got on the mediums, they hunted Leclerc down. It was like, honestly, I don't know, like watching sharks hunt or something.
Yeah, or the Velociraptors hunting in Jurassic Park. It was just insane. Like you see the
15 seconds they made up.
You see the horse and the McLaren running, and you see these two sharks coming, hunting them down in the back. Like it was incredible. What an incredible scene.
So 15 seconds they made up to get Leclerc. Yeah. And then they came up another 5 seconds to be up behind because no one understood why they would give up track position, but they knew they had the speed. So they were right up behind Norris
with the fresh
McLaren
tires,
in second. Sainz is singing first. And then
we did see what happened to the hards as it started degrading, right? It was they were all over the map.
Max Verstappen looked like he was on ice on his hards at the end, but Anyways, Sainz. Wow, like let's just do like I want to get to the top 3. That's
Okay,
why
let's
I
do
was
the top
pausing.
3 first. Okay,
So Sainz, Masterclass, like
in strategy.
In strategy. So who do you think? So you got Russell sitting in 3rd, you've got Hamilton sitting in 4th, you have Sainz purposely backing up Norris.
So that he can tow him.
Yeah, he was basically towing him, but giving Norris DRS so that Norris would defend against Russell and Hamilton, and Sainz had that extra, like, it was insane.
Because he had to time it just right so that, like, even so that Norris couldn't pass him, but give him just enough to break the
like
DRS
70
from things so that
hundredths of a second, like it was tenths of a second. It was crazy. And then Ferrari's just like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "No, I'm doing it on purpose." And Norris even knew that at the end. He came over and he thanked Sainz. Like, anyways, it was just insane. But yeah, so then Russell, Hamilton hunting like velociraptors. Final lap.
Very final lap.
Like a couple of turns to go. They're going to get Norris for sure. They almost got him once.
And like a scene out of Star Wars, if you ever watch it, or any movie where the good guy's being chased by the bad guy, and the good guy's made
Russell's the bad guy.
Yeah, not the Russell's the bad guy. Like, so I really enjoy George Russell, but like a scene out of where the good guy does an evasive maneuver and like deke and move and turn left, whereas Russell end up hitting.
So Norris give a little tiny gentle kiss to the wall, like just barely brushed it.
And George Russell followed him by a little too far.
Yes, and then bended into the wall.
Bended into the safe pro.
It was painful. It was so painful for Russell. He was like so close to getting 3rd.
All you hear was no.
Yeah, and then
like a scene out of Star Wars.
And then what happened is
this.
Instead,
we see this.
So Mr. Hamilton
in 3rd.
Listen, had he had a few more laps, I think he would have won.
I think he would have won that race. Like, it would have.
Norris
second.
Thanks to the smartest genius of the track,
the smooth operator himself,
and he
sang the smooth operator. So
he sang.
So what a race!
What a race!
Like I said, the first part of the race was just like, and yeah, it was
awesome.
Check out the highlights, if anything. Yeah. Do yourself a favor and check out Marcus Armstrong.
F2. He's F2 this year, right?
No, he's in Indy.
Oh, is he in Indy now?
He's in IndyCar.
Did we see him race at Indy?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah. And then Pierre Gasly.
Oh, he did good. He had a good race.
He finished in 6th.
He had a great race.
He had a really great race.
Happy. Poor Ocon, though. That just sucked.
Yeah. And there's no F2 this week. Actually, there's no
F2 till the end of the season.
Yeah,
I don't understand F2 schedule.
I mean, this guy actually might actually take be in the running for Yuki's seat as well. I mean,
I don't know.
He might finish in 3rd.
It's first for Logan Sargent. Logan Sargent and Alex Albon actually both drove up the pack. The Williams didn't look great, but they did gain some. And Sargent's still looking for his points. But Sargent, Lawson had first time for Piastri, first time for Lawson, and first time for Sargent driving. Driving Singapore.
Felipe. I honestly
he should be in a seat.
I honestly thought that he was going to drive because I thought
but I think that Stroll destroyed his car.
Look at that. This is the Carlos Sainz weekend.
If you ever wondered what Carlos Sainz hair care is, because apparently some people care about that. I don't know. He has beautiful hair. He just shampoos once a day. Doesn't do anything else. Very interesting. No conditioner.
It's weird because I'm just looking here.
Why is your buddy always in the cards?
I'm looking here, and I was like, I initially thought it was the same picture.
No, it's not.
I mean, it kind of looks like the same picture.
Look at the back wing.
Well, the number is different too, but yeah, it looks similar. Is what I'm saying. I think it's taken from the same track. If you look at the background, but yeah, that's neat. My buddy, Jahan Darubla.
It's like whenever anything happens in F2, the first thing that you think of is it Johan Darubala who's just done something. Yeah.
And this is the Porsche, probably
the champ, right?
The champion, yeah. I think he's going to be the champ this season. And well deserving too. So fun fact, I mean, Theo Porsche came in second to Felipe Drogovic, and Liam Lawson came in third to
makes you
Theo Porsche. So
these guys might be.
These guys will be good.
Although Lawson was driving, and he's been driving the whole year in it's like Super Japan Championship or something. So, and he was winning that, so I think that helped him.
Liram Zendelli.
I don't know who that is.
He is F2. Yep.
I don't think I've even heard that name.
Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton. I was gonna say that's Singapore, but it's not. I think it's a UK.
It's a night race though.
That's true.
Are you sure it's not Singapore?
I can't read it.
Like, there's not a lot of night races that have a.
It doesn't.
Singapore
I don't know.
is at night, and Singapore has a.
It could be. You might be right. I don't know. If y'all know what this race is, let me know. I can't tell. And another Hamilton.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him win, but I'm so happy with this because it was just such a masterclass.
I mean, this is really what's his name? Sainz's second win.
Yeah, Norris was looking for his first. This is matching the highest he's ever finished. He's never won one. Sainz won one. Hamilton still. Yeah. Russell was looking for his second win, and Hamilton is looking for his first win
since 2021 in Saudi Arabia, right?
Saudi Arabia, yeah.
Danny Rick.
Danny Rick.
That's a really nice looking card.
Danny Rick just, I don't know what
he's just getting better, I guess.
Yeah.
And Yuma Iwasa. Mick Schumacher no longer driving.
I don't know. He might end up back in the car.
Yeah. So I mean that's another thing, right? So seeing Liam Lawson drive, makes it so that Logan Sargent really has no excuse. Right?
He has no excuse.
Like because
this is the rumor that Logan Sargent's going to lose his seat.
Yeah.
Which I feel bad for him because he hasn't been terrible. He's not been a Latifi, and Latifi got to sit in that seat for like 2 seasons, but
yeah. And last but not least.
Liam Lawson.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
We willed him into being. Listen, he is driving so he is doing now what I think they've expected DeFries to do. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And only he's really earning that seat.
Yeah, he's actually getting the points, and and he's driving a really not so great car. So
yeah,
good. Like congrats, man. Like I think you've done really well, and
he's overperforming the car that he
absolutely,
has.
and good for him. Like
yeah, that's a nice picture.
That's a really nice card, actually. I really like it. So yeah. So next race we are in Japan. Suzuka, and that's in next week.
Fast and usually wet. So let's see what happens.
So I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, we didn't end up getting up for Suzuka.
It's in the middle of the night.
It was in the middle of the night, and it was and it was a good thing because I think it was delayed last time by like 2-3 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
I feel like this time I might wake up, check to see if the race is starting or not, and if it's raining, I'm going back to bed.
True. But it's also just to provide content for y'all.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.